Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Thanks for clicking on this video. So today what we're going to be doing is removing the roof bars from the top of the Cannon Vanta and replacing that with a Savagetech roof platform. So to start off with, I need to remove these covers from the roof bars so I can actually get the roof bars off. So I'll bring you around and I'll show you how I'm prizing these caps off. Okay, so literally all I'm doing, I've got one of these black plastic Jimmy type bar things. All I'm going to do is place that on the rubber seal and I'm just literally sliding it along until I can feel, just slipped out there, I'm basically pulling these away from the little lugs underneath. You just saw that pop, there's 3 of them. So once I've actually got it free, all I do then is push it away from me. I trust this one to be the hardest one. It's a bit awkward running one hand as well. Yeah, literally just push it away from it, it'll pull out from the end there. There's no damage to it. No damage to the lugs that it grips onto. So basically you've got 1, 2, 3 lugs on each side and they go in underneath these little slots. So what you're doing is you're using this Jimmy bar to just go in where they lodge in, or where they lock in, sorry, and just prying it away so it pulls out from underneath that little lug. And once all 3 of those are free, you can literally grab it and then just push it across to the side and pull away and it should be fine. Okay, I'll bring you back when I start taking the nuts out, or the bolts out. Okay, so you can see now that we've exposed the 2 fixing bolts. I've got an 8mm socket on here, so I'll just undo these. And that should free these roof platforms off. So obviously this side and this is the front. Do the same with the roof bar foot at the back as well, and we should be able to lift these off. So what I'll do is I'll get all 4 undone and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so that's all 4 bolts out of the roof bar, so we should be able to just undo that and take it off. Brilliant. 1 roof bar off. Okay, so this is the new Savagetech roof platform. I'm just going to unbox it. Excuse my back. I never know how these things are going to open up. Okay, doesn't seem too bad. Bit of tape just on the edge. Fair amount of tape there. Okay, I think we'll just go for it. Strong cardboard. Okay. Just need a little bit more brute force, doesn't it? Let's get this end open. And there we have it in all its glory. Okay, I'll get out of the box and I'll bring you back. Okay, finally got this thing out of the packaging. One thing I will say about this company, Savagetech in Australia, if you live in Australia, if you're thinking about buying any, apologies for the road noise, if you're thinking about buying any aftermarket roof racks, you know, light bars, they supply so much stuff. Really good company. I've had a couple of conversations with the lads there. I think they're based up in Caboolture in Queensland. Excellent customer service, really good customer service. And with this this unit, it's got a built-in light bar. It's all plug and play, so I'm not going to do that today, but when I do it I will bring you back just to show how that all works. I've got to work out how I'm going to run the cables yet. So that's the platform with a built-in roof bar, and these are the rails, the side rails. They look pretty impressive. As you can see, it's got the Savage logo right into the side, so it would sit up on the vehicle like that. Okay, and the roof platform fits in on those two lugs. And to actually fix them to the vehicle, we've got these brackets. So where I've just removed the roof bar and taken those bolts out, you still use the same factory bolts to secure these brackets. I've got one actually up on the vehicle now, so I'm just testing it out. But yeah, I'll bring you back up there and I'll show you how these things fit. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. So you'll see here you've got this middle part of this channel is still intact. This needs to come out. So I've got a couple of pairs of tin snips. All you need to do is cut it as close to the edge on both sides as you can, so it creates one square, if you like. So we'll just do that now. It's a very thin type of metal, so it cuts pretty easy. You can see I've cut a nice straight line across. I'll just get the other set. Okay, and we'll go down this side. What I find is if you press down on this side while you're cutting, it shouldn't buckle the metal, and then you shouldn't have any problems trying to cut it, he says. These tin snips have had a lot of use over the years, and guttering and all sorts of stuff. Just be careful because these edges are very sharp. So once you've done that, then your bracket, now the bracket should face inwards, so the bottom piece of the bracket should face inwards towards the car. Okay, and you can see there it lines up with the holes, pretty accurate actually. You can literally put those holes straight in. Now what they do supply are these two little rubber washers that are supposed to go between the roof of the car and the bracket. However, experience tells me that if you use those, they start to break down over a period of time and you get water ingress into the holes and then into your roof lining. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some silicone around the hole. I'm then going to put the bracket in, and then I'm going to drop the bolts in and secure it up. Okay, just normal roof and gutter silicone. A nice round circle around each hole. That should do it. And the other thing is, this gives it a bit more strength to the bracket as well. Just bring it a bit closer so you can see that. Okay, nice ring of silicone around it. It's incredible. The one day I come out filming and this road out the front here is busier than ever. Okay, so as I say, the bracket goes on, the foot faces inwards towards the car. I've got my two factory fitting bolts, so I'll just line them up first before I drop this down on the silicone. Make sure they fit back in okay. Cool. Really, I should have been out here early this morning and done this when the road was a lot quieter. But family life takes over everything. Okay, so we've just drop the bracket down gently onto the silicone. I'll grab the socket. As I said earlier, it's an 8mm socket. Just spin them around. And some videos, some people have had to run a tap through to open the holes up at the bottom, but I haven't found that. The factory bolts just seem to go straight through and locate and do up very tight, quite easily. Okay, that's that one nipped up. Don't do them up tight until you get them both in. This traffic's unbelievable. It's currently 4 o'clock in the evening in sleepy Adelaide. I think just about every car that's in Adelaide has come past today. Okay, so I just want to make sure I line them up. It's nice and even on the bolts. Feels pretty good, looks pretty good. I'll just give it a little nip. See that one pulled in there. Okay. You see that silicone squidging out there? Create a nice tight watertight seal. Just don't over tighten these. Brilliant. Good thing is that silicone will lock it in like Loctite. Okay, so I'm going to get the other 4 done and I'll come back. Okay, so I've got all 4 brackets mounted on the roof now. So the next job is to see how we mount what I know as the backbone system. So with Rhino racks, this is what's known as the backbone system, the carriers for the roof platform. So I've set out all my nuts and bolts. So these 4 here, I've already prepped them. I've got I think it's an 8mm Allen bolt with a spring washer, then a big flat washer, and then the bolt, and they will go through the brackets this way. Okay, so that's the stack, and they're going to go through like this. I don't actually like them because they're chrome. I might actually paint them black just to match the brackets. 2 roof heights. I'm not really sure why they give me the option of 2 roof heights. Maybe it's to clear this aerial. I'll have to have a look. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to start mounting the rails now, and once I've got them on, I'll bring you back and show you what they look like. Oh, and while I'm doing that, I'm actually going to have myself a English pale ale. It's an Adnams Southwold Ghost Ship, and that's a citrus pale ale. It's got a slight lemon taste to it. Really nice beer. At the moment, you can buy them in Dan Murphy's for $10 for 4. Good value. I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay, so something I've just discovered, if you're a bigger handed person, put the front bolt in first and just leave it loosely tightened. Okay, then come to the back, because I've got fairly big hands, and trying to get that nut in behind there and hold it in position while I'm putting that bolt in is a nightmare. So what I've done is I put it on an extended socket and I'll place it in behind so I can reach it and hold it there, and then I'll thread the bolt into it. It's just a little hack to help. I'll bring you back once I've got it on there. Okay, so I've got the rails on both sides. You can see I've left these Allen keys fairly loose. I mean, they're not tightened up yet. So what I want to do is get the platform on in position, line it up, and then once I've got it on there and it's all together, I'll tighten all the bolts at the same time. So I'm just going to lift the platform on, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so roof platform's on now. I finished this off last night. This is actually the next day. Just something to bear in mind if you've got the Cannon and you're putting this on, you've got two two alternative heights here. So you've got the bottom one, you've got the top one, and that's the same on the back here. Now you'll notice I've got the bolt in the top slot there, the top hole, and I've got it in the bottom hole on the front. The reason I did that is if you look at the clearance between the roof, the light bar and the top of the roof, excuse that noise, my son and his electric car. If you don't put this bolt in the bottom, it drops the light bar down too far. It's just about 3 mil off the roof. So I'm just worried about once we put some weight on there, if it would actually start denting the roof. So I've lifted the front up. In doing that, it actually looks pretty level. A little bit out of the back. I haven't put a level on there. It's not so bad that you'd notice it. When you come to fix the platform down onto the rail, assemble the cluster of bolts and the locking nut together on the rail, and then when you put the platform on top, you'll locate that on the locking nut, which will fit into a slot, and then you can tighten that up from underneath with a ring spanner. It's pretty easy, not too difficult. I mean, all in all, the whole thing probably took me maybe an hour. Got my wife to help me lift the platform onto the rails. So yeah, I'm just about to install a dune awning on there that I picked up from Anaconda. So I've got the brackets on there, and I've just tech screwed them down. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. So tech screwed them straight into the platform. They're nice and solid. So now I've got the awning on. I'll bring you back when I've done that. Okay, so got the dune awning on. Took me all about 10 minutes. We were quite lucky. We went into Anaconda when they had a sale on this awning, 3.5 meters long by 2.5 meters out. We paid $100, and we got a $35 voucher back in some sort of deal they were doing. So the thing cost me $65. So easy to fit. Brackets come with it. So depending on what sort of roof rack you're putting it on, you will have to use different types of fixings, but you can see from this, what you've got is two channels. There's two little square end bolts that run in these channels, and they locate down here in the middle somewhere. There's a couple of little cutouts, if you can see them. So you slide them into those little cutouts, send two that way, two this way, and then line them up with your brackets, and then fix them on with those locking nuts, and it's pretty sturdy, I have to say. Okay, so look, that's the roof rack fitted, or roof platform fitted. Like I said, what I'm going to do, it does have a built-in spotlight at the front here, which does have a cable attached. Until I actually get this wired up and work out how I'm going to do it, I'm probably just going to cable tie that down the back of the rack there somewhere, so it's out of the way and it don't flap around. But once I get the light bar, or start installing the light bar, the electrics, as I say, it's a plug and play system, I'll bring you back for that, and hopefully we can work that out. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.